Hi there, my name is KA Holt. I publish under the name KA Holt. I'm the author of a lot of novels, but a lot of novels in verse in particular, including House Arrest. And it felt somewhat pertinent to read a little bit out of House Arrest while we are all sort of quarantined at home and not at school and kind of under a house arrest of our own. So I've picked a couple of poems from here just to read out loud, and as maybe like a tiny, tiny mini lesson, you can listen for examples of different poetic devices in these poems. Listen for hyperbole and some assonance. Assonance is when you don't necessarily get a rhyme, but you get the same vowel sounds in the words that kind of helps you create rhythm. Um, Listen for metaphor, simile, things like that. Okay, uh, you don't have to write it down or anything like that. Just keep your ears open for it, because a lot of times, one of the things people ask about free verse poetry, which is how this book is written, it looks like this, is with free verse, when you have a poem that doesn't rhyme, isn't it just like writing a regular book, but breaking the lines up? And if you don't do it very well, yes. But if you do it well, what the poet or the writer is trying to do is use the white space on the page, and use these line breaks as a way to guide the reader when you're reading. I use it to create rhythm. I use it to show you like how Timothy is feeling. If the line breaks are really short and you read through it quick, it kind of mimics like a heartbeat, and like how the speed of Timothy's brain, all kinds of stuff like that. So I want you to kind of listen for what makes this poetry and not just broken up lines, if you can. All right. Okay, so here is a little bit of house arrest. These are just some sections about being on house arrest. Okay. I guess actually what I should do too is tell you what this book is about, since I'm going to be jumping around. Um, so Timothy is the main character of this book, and before the book starts, Timothy has been caught for stealing a credit card. He just didn't get very far, basically. He stole the credit card, though, to buy medicine for his little brother. And so he has to keep a court-ordered journal while he's under house arrest, which is like a year of probation. And in his journal, his probation officer gets to read it, his court-appointed therapist gets to read it, and he's supposed to talk about why he stole the credit card and how he's sorry for the crime that he committed. But Timothy isn't sorry about it because he was trying to help. And so James is the probation officer in the book, and James comes into the story very much having already decided what kind of a kid Timothy is, since he broke the law. He's going to amount to nothing. He's just this regular screw-up kid, blah, blah, blah. But as the book progresses, James starts to learn that maybe Timothy isn't everything that he thought Timothy was. And Mrs. B, who is Timothy's therapist, she comes into the story and she's very much like, I can save anybody all the time. All I have to do is talk to them. And Timothy won't talk to her. He won't open up at all. And so she has to kind of learn that coming into a situation and thinking that she can immediately solve it just by being nice, that's not always going to work either. So she has to read the journal and get to know Timothy, and figure out how the two of them can communicate. So the journal is very helpful for that, for all of them. Okay, so now I'm going to jump in, now that you know a little bit about what it's about. All right, so this is part of week 2. On that day weeks ago, I'd lost my head. Everything foggy and frosty, everything a dwarf name from a fairy tale that doesn't exist. I remember I was so tired, so tired. Levi had been sick the night before, one of those nights with no nurse at home to help. Mom had her hands full, and I did too. Levi was bad sick, so I helped, running for towels, for meds, for the heavy oxygen tanks, for the suction machine, for the spare trach tubes, for the ties to keep the tube in his neck so he could breathe, which he wasn't doing very well that night before the morning when my head was full of fairy tale dwarves named Foggy and Frosty and Sleepy and Crazy. I will never know what I was thinking when I stole that wallet because I wasn't thinking. I wish everyone would stop asking. There is no what when there is no thinking. There is just ising. Things happened just like that. Snap. It is what it is. It was what it was. So stop asking. I was trying to help. That's all. But it was the opposite of help, and I know that now. I'm not sorry, though, if you're wondering. Sorry I got caught because it would have helped. It would have. All right. Now I'm going to skip to here. I will never do it again. You must know that, James. I will never do it again. Even though sometimes I wonder. Just a tiny wonder. A little piece of dust-sized wonder. Miniature wonder you can only see under a wonderscope. What if I had one more magic wallet? What if all the bills got paid? I will never do it again, James. The wonder is very tiny. The what if is too dangerous. So I will never do it again. But I do wonder. I do. Okay. Confession. I ran to Jose's house today, just for 3 minutes to borrow his math book. Mom knew where I was going. She watched from the doorway. But now, I can't think about math. I can only think about other dimensions. Like, maybe right now our world exists somewhere else, but everyone has bunny ears or their butts on the fronts of their bodies. When I go to Jose's house, it's like another dimension. The house is exactly the same as mine. Same rooms and the same places, except it is also exactly different. They have 7 people, we have 3. They have noise and chaos, we do too. But it's just all so different, so different. It's hard for me to figure out who has the best chaos. Beeping alarms or screeching sisters. Backpacks everywhere or medical supplies. Fuzzy baby head or guinea pig running loose. And all of it is hidden behind the same looking front door, the same looking windows, the same looking garage. A whole different dimension. It's just 3 houses down. And the only real thing we share between the 2 places is this one lousy math book that I can't even concentrate on. All right. We don't take Levi out a lot because of the germs, you know? Sometimes we have to, though, and that's when we see other people. Dun dun dun. First, the forehead gets wrinkly, then the lips turn down in a frown, the head tilts to the side. Sometimes there's a noise or a sigh and a head shake. A lot of times there's an, I'm sorry. But that's dumb. I mean, come on. Why are you sorry, ugly lady at the grocery store? Did you give Levi a messed up airway? Did you give him a trach? No. That's the one thing I like about you, James. Maybe the only thing. You see Levi all the time, and you never say you're sorry. You wash your hands, you ruffle his hair, you soft punch his tiny baby shoulder, and say, "What's up, sir?" Did they teach you how to not say you're sorry at Probation Officer University? I mean, or is that just a James thing? Either way, thanks. Thanks for never being sorry, James. Okay, let's get back over here. No, I'm reading these out of order, which is weird. But that's okay. Let's see. Where did it go? Aha. Over here. Sorry, I lost it. Where did it go? Here's a good one. You know, the problem with babies is that you can't hate them. You can try. I tried. But they have these fuzzy soft heads. They have slurpy smiles. Even when you stick out your tongue or make a mean face or give them a poke with your finger, they still have slurpy smiles. Well, it's really hard to hate a baby. Even if you think about all the times before the baby, when your dad was at home and happy and your mom never cried herself to sleep at the kitchen table, even when you think about those times, you still can't hate a baby. Stupid, cute babies complicating everything. The thing is, and I don't know if I should say this, but house arrest isn't so bad. Pretty much, I've been on house arrest since Levi came home. That's not bad, it's just how it is. It's not really safe to take him anywhere because of how germs make him so sick so fast. So for months and months, we stayed at home. No movies, no football games, no restaurants. Well, except sometimes when Mom and Dad stayed with Levi at the hospital and I could go out with Jose to the old gross mall, we'd go to Game Space so we could try out the new Halo until the manager would yell at us for being there too long and getting pizza grease on the controllers. And once we snuck into this movie that had that one actor and he said every swear, and Jose thought we were going to get in so much trouble. Timothy, we are dead if we get caught. But we didn't get caught. It was so much fun. You know what? Now that I think about it, house arrest stinks. Like way more than I thought before I started writing this stupid journal. But there are some nice things when you're under house arrest that you can learn to appreciate. And I'm going to leave you with this one last poem because it's one of my favorite poems in the book. Okay. You know those super sunny days, the ones that come out of nowhere, where every slant of sunshine bursts through the window blinds, warming up whatever they touch. Not too hot, but just right. And you can feel the sun burning on your face, burning in a good way, like if you could stand inside fireworks and not get burned. This fresh squeezed orange juice left on the porch with a box of chocolate donuts and a bag of breakfast tacos with fiery red salsa is making the inside of my mouth feel just like those fireworks, just like that slant of sunshine. So see, even when Timothy felt like things were dire, he could always stop for a second and think about how awesome it was just to have like a nice glass of orange juice and a breakfast taco or a donut or anything. All right. I wish you all luck, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. And if anybody reads House Arrest and has questions about the book, feel free to email me, Karianne, Karianne, at kaholt.com. And if there are any classes out there or book clubs where all of you read House Arrest, email me, and maybe we can set up a free 20-minute Skype Q&A for the class. All right. Thanks. Have a nice day.